Thank you. Welcome to those in the Del Mar Center Hall, those on Zoom, and later on YouTube. My name is Linda C. McCabe, and I am the current chair of the Sea Ranch Forum. The Sea Ranch Forum is not an official function of the Sea Ranch Association. It is organized by Sea Ranch members and is independent of the board of directors and staff, and was originally founded in 1973. This particular meeting is a joint effort between the Forum and the Sea Ranch Vision Committee, and I want to thank Cynthia Bogalub and Christine Kraling for their help. And today's topic is inspired by this being the 60th anniversary year of the founding of the Sea Ranch. And it is 60 years retrospective of the Mendonoma Community, a celebration including the founding and evolution of key institutions in our community. We will be hearing We will be hearing from 9 different spokespeople from these key institutions of our community. Each one will be giving a 10-minute presentation, and we will be going in a mostly chronological order. So please hold any questions you have until the end. Many of them also have displays at the back of the room in case you would like to learn more about them and how you can help support these vital organizations. Thank you. Next up is Stephen McLaughlin, editor and publisher emeritus of the Independent Coast Observer.
Good afternoon. Thank you for attending this afternoon. First slide, please. While my parents, Joanna and John McLaughlin, were raising their family in Palo Alto, they had been dreaming of a future retirement plan somewhere on the California coast. And in 1967, they discovered the recently opened Sea Ranch. Joanna wrote later, "The well-planned Sea Ranch represented everything we wanted in a retirement home by the ocean and at a price we could afford. We bought the Sea Ranch concept and a Sea Ranch lot." Years before, Joanna had been a newspaper reporter for a big city newspaper and retained that dream that many reporters have of publishing their own newspaper. When she attended her first annual meeting of the Sea Ranch Association in 1968, she saw a need for better communication among the owners and hatched a plan for a newspaper to serve them. Bill Rand, who was the first association manager, advised her to broaden the coverage of her nascent newspaper to include the surrounding communities in Sonoma and Mendocino County. A letter she sent at her expense to Sea Ranch owners brought a few hundred subscriptions at $2 each, and to try the first 10 issues by mail. Slide. With the help of the crew of a local printer, she put together the April 1969 issue on the dining room table at our Palo Alto home. She brought the printed papers up to the coast to mail at the Gualala post office and distributed them to local stores. She also gathered news and photos here for the next issue. After John and Joanna moved into their just finished house at Sea Ranch, in 1970, the ICO moved into an office in Gualala where Noma is today, north of the Surf Market. Slide. Yeah, that's okay. No, the ICO office became a busy nexus of town life, with folks dropping in daily to bring news, buy subscriptions and advertising, and just to chat with the editor and the staff. Slide. Okay. The ICO had a refrigerator-sized CompuGraphic photo typesetting machine, a pre-digital Verityper composing machine, and even a small offset press for job printing, all crammed into that space. Then in 1971, the ICO purchased its first newspaper press, which was installed in a warehouse space east of Highway 1 and operated by production manager John McLaughlin. The newspaper also went from a monthly to a twice-a-month publication. In 1973, the ICO began weekly publication and has published every week since then. Slide. In 1974, the proud staff posed for a photo in the spirit of 19th century newspapers in the Old West. That's Joanna in the front, John is on the left, and that's me on the front right, on the far right. In 1977, the office moved across the highway into much more spacious quarters adjacent to the press room in the former house where now the Redwood Coast Humane Society is located. As Joanna's newspaper grew in both page size and circulation, a larger, faster press became necessary to continue production in our own newspaper shop in Wallala. John had died in 1980, and David Torres, who had been trained in printing and mentored in photography by John, took over as production manager. And the ICO operation moved into a combined office and print shop on Highway 1 at Pacific Woods Road in 1981. Joanna semi-retired in 1988 and appointed me editor, with Joanna continuing her role as publisher. We worked together until her death in 1995. I was editor and publisher and sole owner of the Independent Coast Observer from 1995 until June 2023, when I retired and I transferred my ownership to a newly formed local nonprofit corporation, Independent Coast Observer Community News Incorporated, which continues more than a half century of empowering and chronicling our community with Mendonoma's own weekly newspaper from its new offices in Cypress Village in Wallala. You can participate in what Joanna in 1969 called an experiment in communication by joining as a member for $100 a year and read the ICO online and on paper in your mailbox every week. Thank you.